All right, so part 2. Now, if you haven't seen the first part just talks about income, returns, and cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold can get tricky. If you got questions on that, go back and look at that. So we can put our props away, our widgets that we were selling, and we can get on to the thing that most people think about when they're thinking deductions, which is expenses. And for the sake of this, I am following the Schedule C from 2022. First, line 8, advertising. This one's not super complicated. You know what advertising is, but the things you might not consider. So, of course, you advertise on any social media website or Google AdWords or Bing ads or whatever. Obviously, that's advertising. Print advertising, voice, radio advertising, television advertising. But what this also should include is going to be website fees, hosting fees. That's all part of advertising. Getting business cards made, that's advertising. T-shirts printed, hats, that kind of stuff. Not that you sell so much as you're giving away. That would be advertising. Again, straightforward. Line 9, we're actually going to cover in the final video. This is car and truck expenses. Gets a little deeper. Line 10, commissions and fees. Well, commissions and fees generally for most businesses are going to be your credit card, your merchant services fees, what you pay the bank. Also, your bank service charges that you pay periodically. Contract labor, that is somebody who is not an employee that you issue a 1099 to. If you pay them $600 or more, you have to issue them a 1099 NEC. Used to be called a 1099 MISC, miscellaneous, but now it's a 1099 NEC, non-employee compensation. If you pay someone $600 or more and you expect to write it off, you've got to get their social security number, name, address, and send them a 1099. Super easy. I'll give you a video about that, but don't miss that. Otherwise, you don't get the deduction. Depletion, we are skipping. In 30 years, I've had one person that's had depletion. And just so you'll know what it is, imagine you own an oil well and the oil is becoming depleted. There's a deduction for that. Depreciation and Section 179 expenses and also amortization. That is line 13. We will cover that in the final video. That's a big topic. We'll wait for that one. 14, employee benefit programs, health insurance, paid family leave, whatever. Employee benefit programs. Insurance other than health. So, insurance other than health, line 15. This is going to be your liability insurance. I'm going to urge you not to claim your umbrella insurance. Let's say you're self-employed, you have your business liability insurance, your insurance against theft of your business property, and you're like, well, just in case somebody gets hurt, I'm going to have an umbrella policy too. No, umbrella policy is a personal use item. Don't put that there and don't deduct it. Other than that, other insurances are deductible. And if you have office in the home, you're not writing that off here, okay? Your homeowner's insurance does not go here. This is business insurance. It is insurance against theft, breakage, and liability insurance in case somebody gets hurt using your products or on your premises. Fair enough. Line 16, interest. If you're writing off interest, this needs to be, and again, interest on your home for the home office deduction does not go here. But if you rent a facility, you rent a factory, or you rent a warehouse, the interest that you pay on that loan does go here. Now you're going to say, hey, what about my credit card interest? Maybe. That credit card must be 100% business use with 0 personal purchases on it. If you can answer yes to that, then you can write off your credit card interest here. Legal and professional services. Well, a lawyer, your tax accountant, and business setup fees, legal and professional. Other professional services, you hire an outside consultant as a professional advisor. I guess that could go here. Although that could go under contract labor too. Well, if you hire a company, I would say legal and professional services, but mostly lawyers and tax accountants. After that, office expense. Now, office expense is supplies, things you need in your office, paper, pen, not big equipment, not computers and printers and such like that, but your usable stuff you're not really going to still have a year from now, or they're going to be replaced at least annually, if not sooner, office expenses. And oddly, postage goes here. So postage goes under office expense. 19, pension and profit sharing plans. Well, that is your contributions to your employee's 401k, let's say. If you put into a simple IRA for an employee, it would go here. And if you have a pension, it would go here. Not a pension that you receive, a pension that your company pays. Very few companies pay pensions, so that's really becoming a legacy item on a tax return. Line 20, rent or lease. 2 categories, vehicles, machinery and equipment, and other business property. Most of the things are going to show up on vehicles, machinery, and equipment, at least tangible rentals. But the other ones, let's say intangible rentals, would be renting a tent at a trade show or an event, or, well, you get the picture. So if you're renting a vehicle, and if you travel and you have to rent a car, business travel, that would go under rent here. That's renting a vehicle. Renting machinery. You have to rent a, post hole digger to fix something not on your personal property, your home, but on business property, okay? Then that would be a deduction. Other equipment, you rent a generator for an event, it goes here. Other business property, like I said, that's going to be renting a facility. You're going to have an event, you're going to rent a hall. That's where that goes, line 20B. Line 21, repairs and maintenance. If you can't figure out what repairs and maintenance means, then I don't know what to tell you. But I'll tell you what doesn't go here. Repairs on your vehicle. Don't put repairs on your vehicle here. There's repairs on business equipment, your phone, your computer, your printing press, whatever it is that you need to run your business and you have repairs. Okay. Supplies, not included in part 3. Okay. What that means is, before, in the previous video, we talked about cost of goods sold. I probably should have included in there that if you make things, your supplies, to me, that's intuitive, that what you buy, whether you're buying this, and mine are special because I wrap them in tape. Well, the rolls of tape I buy should actually be in cost of goods sold, okay? So basically what it's saying is your other supplies not included in part 3. Part 3 is inventory and stuff you need to make the stuff you're selling, okay? So what are those kind of supplies? Well, we already covered office supplies, so what is it? It's everything else. Whatever else doesn't fit into office supplies and cost of goods sold will go here. All other supplies. Let's say cleaning supplies. Pretty easy, although that could probably go under office supplies too. So you pick. Either way, I don't think the IRS is particularly going to care. And in every case I've ever seen, the IRS really didn't care. Line 23, taxes and licenses. Not your driver's license and not the sales tax you paid inadvertently when you were buying your widgets. You shouldn't have been paying sales tax. You should have been a registered vendor and not had to pay sales tax. That being said, what are taxes? Well, payroll taxes. You have an employee and you pay half of their Social Security and Medicare. That goes on taxes. Taxes that you pay, disability insurance could be looked at as a tax in certain states. Compensation insurance is actually looked at as a tax in different states. Again, whether you put it on insurance or tax, most of the time the IRS is not going to care unless you're really spending a lot. And even then, so they move it from one line to the other. It doesn't matter. But if you pay taxes and licenses, of course, you need a professional license. I have to pay New York State a certain amount each year. I have to pay the federal government amount each year, an amount each year for my ability to continue to write income taxes. So that's what a license is. And again, not your driver's license. Travel and meals. What did you spend on airfare, taxis, trains? Not gasoline. That doesn't go here. Well, I guess if you're out of town and you rent a car, you'd put the rent of the car on rent or lease of vehicles, machinery, and equipment. That's line 20. But the gasoline could go under travel, line 24A. All right. What else might go there? Lodging, obviously your hotel. That's pretty much it. Meals. Normally this used to be meals and entertainment. Under the 2017 tax code, they removed entertainment as a deductible category. That category comes back in 2025. But until then, this is just meals. Then there's different kinds of meals. If you take somebody out, you're taking out a client. That's what's called a 50% meal. And so when you're filling the, well, you can just tell your tax accountant at 50% meals, I took people out. There's 80% meals. That is for, let's say, truck drivers, somebody who is subject, and you'll know if you are subject to DOT, Department of Transportation, hours of service limits. If you've never heard that, then you're not subject to it and it doesn't apply to you. If you are, you get 80% of your meals. Further, you can take per diem, but per diem we're going to throw into the final video because that, again, gets a little more complicated. Okay, we just got a couple left here. Utilities, cell phone, internet. If you're taking office in the home, this is not where your heat, gas, electric, and all that goes, okay? This is just utilities for your business. You have a business-only phone, or you use Ring Central and you pay them $300 a year for your business number, your 800 number, whatever. This is where it goes. You use Google Voice. That technically goes here. That is a utility. It is phone, internet, and if you have a separate work location that is not your home, then your gas, electric, and utilities for that go here under utilities. Wages. Wages are wages. Wages are what you pay to your staff. Now, don't include Social Security and Medicare taxes that you paid on their wages here. That goes on line 23, taxes and licenses. But wages, the raw wages that you pay, like I have employees that I pay, let's say $50,000 a year to, that $50,000 is going to show up on line 26. And by the way, $50,000 for 3 months work. So don't judge me that I'm not paying them enough. After that, we get into the general category of other expenses. And essentially, if all the categories I just went through, you didn't have a match, then it can go there. And what could that be? Software subscriptions. I have an Adobe Creative Cloud software subscription. I have Dropbox. There's really not a lot that should go there. A lot of people put tolls there. Go ahead if you want. It's good enough. Let's see, what else could go there? Oh, continuing education can certainly go there. Pretty much anything that didn't otherwise fall into a category should go there. But if you come at me with something that's like, let's say your gross revenue is $100,000 and you come at me with something that's $3,000, I'm going to have some reservations about just throwing $3,000 under other. Okay, so we'd probably talk about where that should fit in. So give me a buzz and we'll talk about that. After that is going to be the final video, which is going to go over depreciation and amortization, section 179, mileage, and office in the home deduction. That's going to be a lot. So we're going to leave that for a separate video. And thank you for hanging out. If you do have any questions on this, hit me up. But otherwise, I hope you do great on your income taxes. Take care.